What if dreams were real life? Imagine falling asleep tonight and waking up in a world where everything you dreamed was suddenly reality. The wildest scenarios you've ever imagined, the strangest nightmares you've ever lived through in your sleep, all suddenly woven into the fabric of your everyday existence. No more separation between the safety of your pillow and the chaos of your imagination. Your subconscious would no longer stay hidden. It would rule your waking life. At first, it might sound magical, even exciting. But the more you think about it, the more you realize how terrifying and unpredictable this dream-made reality would be. And that's exactly what we are going to explore today. A world where dreams and reality collide. The first thing we'd notice is the sheer absurdity of it all. Dreams are notorious for breaking the laws of physics, logic, and even common sense. One moment you're flying over cities with wings made of spaghetti, and the next, your childhood math teacher is chasing you with a giant rubber duck. If dreams became real, our world would stop obeying the predictable rules that keep society functioning. Airplanes wouldn't need engines, people would teleport without warning, and gravity might decide to take a day off. Imagine walking to work only to suddenly float into the sky because, in someone else's dream, humans discovered how to turn gravity on and off like a light switch. Stability? Gone. Normalcy? Erased. Every single day would feel like living in a fever dream carnival. Now let's talk about relationships. If dreams were real life, every secret crush, every hidden fear, every embarrassing subconscious scenario would come flooding into the real world. That awkward dream where you show up to school without clothes? Congratulations. Now it's part of your biography. The romantic dream where you confess your love to someone you never intended to in reality? Too late. Now it's an actual event, and everyone knows. Imagine the chaos in marriages, friendships, and workplaces. No one could hide their desires, insecurities, or darkest thoughts. Because in the dream world reality, your subconscious writes the script, and you're just an actor forced to live it out. But it gets darker. Nightmares. Think of the scariest nightmare you've ever had, the kind that jolts you awake at 3 a.m. in a cold sweat. Maybe it was monsters chasing you, or an endless fall into blackness, or being hunted by something you couldn't even see. If dreams were real life, nightmares would no longer stay locked inside your mind. They'd crawl out into the streets, haunting you in daylight. Imagine walking to the grocery store only to find yourself stalked by the faceless shadow from your worst nightmare. Entire cities could be destroyed overnight simply because too many people had chaotic, destructive dreams. Our world would become an apocalyptic landscape stitched together from billions of individual nightmares. At this point, you might think, well, wouldn't good dreams balance it out? Maybe. There would be beauty, too. People dream of flying, exploring magical kingdoms, talking to lost loved ones, even creating entire utopias. If those dreams manifested into reality, the world would be filled with wonder unlike anything we've ever seen. Imagine waking up to a city floating in the clouds, where every building glows with golden light because someone dreamed of paradise. Or imagine scientists suddenly discovering cures for diseases, not through years of research, but because someone dreamed of the perfect formula. There would be miracles scattered everywhere, endless pockets of joy and wonder. But here's the catch. Dreams don't last. They shift, they flicker, they vanish as soon as you wake up. If dreams were real life, then reality itself would constantly rewrite itself. Your house could turn into a castle in the morning, a haunted forest by afternoon, and a spaceship by night. How would you even survive in a world where nothing is permanent? Where you could never trust what tomorrow looks like? Civilization depends on consistency, on knowing that when you wake up, your city, your job, your relationships, and your sense of self are still there. In a dream reality, those foundations collapse. The very concept of identity disappears. Now think about responsibility. If dreams became real, who would be held accountable for them? After all, people don't control their dreams. They just happen. If your nightmare unleashes a monster into the city that destroys half of downtown, are you guilty? Should you be punished for what your subconscious created? Or would society need a whole new system of laws to regulate dream-born disasters? We might even create a dream police tasked with monitoring and containing the fallout of everyone's nightly imagination. Imagine waking up with a knock on your door. Sir, last night you dreamed of a dragon attacking a shopping mall. That dragon is currently sitting in the parking lot. You'll need to come with us. And here's another layer. Dreams don't only reveal your imagination, they reveal your hidden truths. Psychologists often say that dreams are windows into the subconscious, exposing what you repress or deny. In a dream-real world, nothing could stay hidden. Your fears, your lusts, your regrets, they'd all be laid bare in the streets. Privacy, as we know it, would vanish. The concept of secrets wouldn't exist anymore. Every awkward, shameful, or embarrassing thought would eventually bleed into reality. Humanity would live in complete transparency, and for most of us, that might be the scariest nightmare of all. Let's not forget collective dreams. Dreams aren't always solitary. They're often influenced by culture, movies, stories, and shared fears. Imagine millions of people dreaming of the same thing at once. That idea could suddenly manifest globally, reshaping the entire planet. If everyone dreamed of an alien invasion, the skies could be filled with UFOs. If everyone dreamed of apocalypse, the Earth might crumble overnight. On the other hand, if billions dreamed of peace, maybe war itself would disappear. But the terrifying truth is, humans don't agree on anything. Dreams are too unpredictable, too conflicting. Some would dream of heaven, others of hell, and both would exist at the same time. Now let's think about evolution. If dreams became real, would humans adapt? Would we eventually learn to control our dreams like lucid dreamers do? Maybe schools would start teaching dream management, where children are trained to harness their subconscious powers for good. Imagine a world where your GPA depends not on math or history, but on how well you can control your dream-summoned dragons. Maybe societies would even crown leaders based on their ability to create stable dream realities. The president wouldn't be elected by votes, but by who dreams the most consistent utopia. But even if we learned control, there's still the problem of exhaustion. Dreams are a form of rest for the mind, a way to process emotions, fears, and memories. If they became reality, sleep would stop being restorative. It would become dangerous. People would dread going to bed, knowing that whatever chaos they dreamed would bleed into tomorrow. Entire industries would pop up around dream blockers, pills, or devices that prevent dreams from manifesting. The rich would pay fortunes to sleep without consequence, while the poor would be left to unleash their subconscious chaos on the streets every night. And here's the ultimate twist. What if this is already happening? What if the reality we're reliving in right now is simply the dream of some other consciousness? After all, dreams feel real while we're inside them. Who is to say this life isn't just a dream that hasn't ended yet? Maybe the reason the world feels so chaotic, unpredictable, and strange at times is because it isn't built on logic. It's built on someone else as subconscious. So, what have we learned? If dreams were real life, the world would be beautiful, terrifying, and completely unstable. Nightmares would haunt the streets, miracles would light up the skies, and humanity would be forced to adapt to a reality rewritten every night. But maybe the bigger lesson is this. Even though our dreams don't become literal reality, they still shape the way we live. They inspire our art, our inventions, our hopes, and even our fears. Dreams may not physically walk among us, but they're already powerful forces shaping our world. And now, I want to hear from you. What's the strangest dream you've ever had? And what would happen if it suddenly became reality tomorrow? Drop your story in the comments. I'll be reading them, and who knows, maybe your dream will inspire the next video. And if you enjoyed diving into this weird alternate reality, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next one. Because trust me, the next dream we're about to explore is even stranger than this one.